description of somebody who was stealing building materials.
And the description was a black
A
person.
black person, right.
Could you be more specific a little bit?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean,
tall, big, old.
They had guns drawn, and I was, you know,
Really?
yeah, because they had, you know, they thought I was stealing building materials. So I said to the guy, one of the cops, I said, you know, this is my first day in Minneapolis. I'm from Ohio. I showed him my license, and he went, oh, geez. So then he became aware of
I see
of the fact that this is a stereotype here.
So it's not like a concept for a black person, that race. It's a vivid daily.
It's daily
experience.
life. It's daily life. African American, the African American construct now is a sociological construct that's artificial in a sense, in that it's been created. It's been created by reality. It's artificial in that we apply it to ourselves, but it's been created by everyday reality.
Quantified.
It is quantified, yes.
I see. So when Mr. Obama is asked to debate that and not be afraid and debate it, how do we do that in a practical sense?
Well, I think
what he meant by that.
I think it's important to understand a couple of things. To back up, Obama was trying to conduct a campaign that was not about race. And he was the first African-American candidate to really do that. He appealed to people on the basis of the issues and on the basis of his personality, his intelligence. But then what happened was, and this is because white society couldn't make him fit into the paradigm of a black candidate.
He's not a Justice Jackson or a Sharpton or...
Exactly. So what they did is they went and found another reverend. Reverend Jeremiah, what's his name?
Who got that video?
Well, he...
I hope they don't come to the mosque, because I'm out of the presidential hopeful. I can't even run for any office if they come to see some of these videos.
Me either, but I think the truth is that they sell those videos. The church sells those videos to people who want them.
I see.
So it was out there for somebody to find.
Well, nobody paid attention. How many years ago was this?
It was years ago.
Yeah. So now it's vivid and everywhere.
But the reason white society did that, or the Republican Party and others did that, is because they were then able to make that crucial link between Barack Obama and the other civil rights leaders, like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, who people hate. And so they were able to then raise all of these questions based on this affiliation that Obama had, even though Obama said clearly, I don't believe in what this guy said. In fact, the way I've conducted myself shows that I don't believe that.
Well, should we be responsible for what our ministers say? I mean, we go there and listen and we leave. I mean, how big a part of our life, how many... I understand, go and dig in and find out what his minister says 20 years ago. Sure. Shouldn't we do the same thing in the white churches?
Well, I think...
Is there any video there of what they say?
Sure there is, but in fact, if you looked at some of the video of people at Bob Jones University and other places where they've said some pretty outlandish things, I think you'd be really shocked at the high public profile that some people have who believe those things. But nevertheless, I think that's all about camouflaging. The real issue is Barack Obama is a black man with an Arabic name.
They want to reduce him to this.
Right.
And potentially being a Muslim.
Right, potentially.
But once you get to being a Muslim, I don't know how you can... I don't think he can get rid of this, even if he's not a Muslim. No. But it is really amazing. I mean, when we have presidents like a crook or a movie star, or what, do we dig in on the relationship with the church? Is he white enough? Or is, I mean, why when it comes to somebody, he say, I'm American, I'm a multicultural American. I mean, there are, in 20 years, he's going to be the majority race.
Absolutely.
So it's not a minority race. And he's saying that, and he's still going to be reduced to a black, angry black man.
Well, because he's running for the highest office in the land, and unfortunately, we have set up a situation where he's running against the only woman who's been a viable candidate for presidency in the history of...
Should we celebrate that? Or, a lot of people should celebrate this.
I think it probably should be celebrated. However, because they're involved in a struggle to be, the head of the thing, that there's a lot of consternation and angst. And in any capitalist society, what you look for is ways to exploit the other person.
Not to show your own
Right.
Virtue or whatever values.
Right.
It's interesting that the person who really, for, at least now, not for the general election, who's benefiting from all this, is the one who's been identified as the first black American president, like Clinton.
Yes, right.
And it's very, very ironic that the first African American or black American president, he's the one who reduced Obama as to a black person. And I think he said something, I'm talking about Clinton, not Hillary. Isn't it nice to have, in the general election, to have two presidents compete, two presidents who love this country competing for the general election? What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm not sure what he meant by that. I think it's been really difficult to tell what Bill Clinton really means when he's doing this. I personally believe that psychologically what Bill Clinton is trying to do is repay his wife for his infidelities.
Period.
Yeah, he's trying to help her become president, and because that's his way of helping mend the fences that he has torn down.
That's a huge prize.
I believe that's what he's
doing. Enjoy it and we suffer.
Yeah, exactly. We suffer. And the point is that Hillary Clinton is a good enough person to run on her own.
Exactly.
If I were Hillary Clinton, I think I would have said, Bill, just stay in the background.
Yeah.
I'll run on the basis of my Senate experience. Not my First Lady experience, but my Senate experience, and I'll debate on the issues. And I think she would have had a better chance had she done that. That was a bad decision by her campaign to bring Bill in as a heavy hitter to do the kind of stuff that
not only Bill, he got all the tribe.
Yeah,
You know, the people are really, they're hitting, you know, it's like you are in a gutter here. But let's talk about some of the speech that Barack Obama made. 221 years ago, in a hall that still stands across the street, a group of men gathered and with these simple words launched American improbable experiment in democracy, Farman, Scholar, and so on. But he goes on to say the document they produced was eventually signed but ultimately unfinished.
That's true.
Is it finished now?
No.
Why not?
Because the document they signed actually committed African Americans to less than people. They were less than persons.
They didn't say white men, all men.
Well, no. It said all men, and what it meant was all people who were free and able to vote. That's what they were talking about.
Because they didn't vote until, the black people did not vote until what year?
Well, black people didn't vote unless they were free black people. Some free black people voted as early as 1866, maybe. But most African Americans were not able to vote throughout the nation until the 1960s. So because of the passage of the Voting Rights Act. But it's not finished. The document is not finished. Even with the amendments that we have, which freed the slaves, we have not freed our population, and I mean the whole population, from the mindset that this document put us in. In other words, there is still white, black, and this duality around race and around ethnicity that exists when in fact the ideological construct of this country is that there are no differences like that matter.
Minimizing all this difference.
We are supposed to be equal on the basis of our equal opportunity. And if that's the case, then we wouldn't be having this conversation, but it's not. And it's been shown that it's not when you have more black people who are